Okay, so
I'm excited. I'm excited.
About a year ago, as a lot of people who are here with us in Elevasi were in the continuation of the journey we've been on as a collective group and company, and we got introduced to Xanthohumol, as most of you are aware, and it's such a powerful molecule that they discovered from the hops plant, and this, the most exciting thing for us, as everybody knows, well, especially back then when we got introduced to this, the master molecule that it is one of the biggest breakthroughs for me was, not for me, the breakthrough about Xanthohumol. It is the only natural ingredient that will tell your body to release its own oxytocin, as you guys all know, commonly referred to as the hormone of happiness. But that product, Meridium, that of course we have been selling, when we got together, and Don and I got together, and then we got together with Kevin, and we started really looking at Xanthohumol and all the potentiality that it has, including Donna, what you're about to talk or ask about, and what we're about to talk about next, is more enhanced or specialized delivery systems, like you're both talking about right now, to get these nutrients, these molecules into your body and have a even greater bioavailability. So Meridium's been a great product up to this point in its water soluble path and the way it's been working. But we have been putting together, and this is really, again, what Kevin and Donna have been working on, is the next evolution of a Xanthohumol product. And that's what the announcement is going to be tonight. But before I show the slide and show everybody, Kevin, I'd love to, this conversation we were having earlier today, I'd love for you to share what's coming next with a Xanthohumol product.
Okay. So we all have a basic understanding of what a Xanthohumol is, and that it's an extract from the hops plant. So I work with a company overseas that makes thousands of gallons of hops extract on a daily basis and supplies the global brewery industry. So these guys are pros. These guys work with agriculture, and they own thousands of acres, and they grow different hops, and there's different varieties, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And the Xanthohumol is an identifiable nutrient that can be concentrated and extracted. But once extracted, whether it's in a liquid or a powder state, it has to be converted to be a bioavailable nutrient. You could make it fat soluble, you could partially water soluble, which is a lot more bioavailable than just the straight Xanthohumol, but it's still partial. There's still sacrifice that happens. How does Xanthohumol break down in the chemistry lab for us to be able to see it in our computers, to be able to diagnose it, to be able to measure it? We have to put it into a soluble state so our computers will identify the molecule. Otherwise, it's going to stay floating in the water, and we're not going to be able to identify it. So in science, what we have to do on a petri dish to make it work in our computers is exactly what we have to do in the body to make it work in our cells. In the petri dish, we have to bring the pH above neutral. pH is potential hydrogen, but you've all heard the pH, acid to alkaline, goes from 0 to 14. 0 or 7 is neutral. Our blood is around 7.34, 7.4. The Xanthohumol will not be bioavailable, not be enzyme reacted, and not absorb until it is above neutral. When you put it in an acid liquid for shelf stability, you're not putting it into a pH neutral environment where it can be absorbed. So You don't want it in an orange juice environment. You want it in a milk environment to get you the idea of the acid and alkaline difference. Instead of doing that in a liquid, which makes it difficult to have shelf stability because there's always going to be a challenge, you know, the yeast could grow or some light molds can grow. They're not toxic to you, but there's a challenge for that. Plus, to get it into the body, we have to go through the gastric acids of the stomach. If your stomach's 5 pH, 5.5 pH, I don't care what you put in, it's going to get acidified. Then when it goes down into the colon, into your intestines, you've got 6.5. You've got a higher alkaline environment. So we've kind of taken a couple of things that you've heard of tonight, and we've put them all together in a soup. We start off with a digestive resistant capsule that is pH specific to the lower intestine to allow the powdered nutrient to get past stomach acids, get into the intestine, where a higher pH environment will then allow the capsule to dissolve. The capsule itself will promote a higher pH environment. Now let's look at this 1 or 2 inch cube of an intestine, this 2 inch hose, just for your mind's eye. Here comes this pill. We're in this 2 inch hose, and you've got hundreds of feet of that. In that 2 inch hose, this capsule breaks apart. These particles are released. There is proteasome particles that are pH balanced in those dots, in all of those, in that soup that's starting to be created. The Xanthohumol hops extract is in that environment. There's calcites that we put in that environment, and all of that creates an above basic 7.5, 7.6 pH environment, and it allows all of those nutrients to work in a positive alkaline pH state to be absorbed into the mucosa, to be absorbed in the intestinal, and you'll get complete absorption of the nutrient because it's pH balanced and delivered into the intestine where it's supposed to be. So that's going to be your delivery system, but there's another condition that nobody has ever addressed, and you probably haven't heard of it. Hops, and we know this, is proestrogenic, estrogen. And for gals, a little bit's okay. And for guys, it's not okay. We get the scientific term man boobs and beer belly. And the other thing that happens when guys become proestrogenic, when they eat stuff like soy or they drink too much beer, the estrogen hormone levels get imbalanced. And when they get imbalanced, testosterone suffers. So bad for the guy. He's going to get the man boobs and the beer belly and other erectile challenges, etc. He needs to have testosterone and wants to avoid estrogen. Hops, when extracted, naturally contains proestrogenic compounds, and they're non-avoidable. And you're taking this on a daily basis to be happy and euphoric every day and to get the benefits of the antioxidant, the power of xanthohumol, but I don't want the side effects to be a contributor to my estrogenic levels. Testosterone is also important for women as it is in men. There's a lot of women that have low T. That gives you your strength hormone. That allows you to have the muscle movement, the muscle reactions, and all of that. Testosterone is not a guy-only compound. It's about hormonal balance. There is another nutrient that we'll disclose that's the subject of the patent that we're writing, and the patent belongs to Elevosity. The patent does not belong to me or my laboratory. I don't build these things for my benefit. We have a benefit as a team. And so the Elevosity patent that I'm writing has this very unique natural ingredient that loves estrogen and converts it to testosterone and does it in an average pH. I can do it anywhere from 4 to 9. So it's going to work in any pH environment. So any of the proestrogenic effect that we're going to get from taking hops is going to work to convert that. And we're putting in more than we need because we still like beers, we still like other proestrogenic compounds, we still can't avoid soy in our diet. So if we increase the availability of that nutrient, it will continue to help the hormonal balance and get rid of our proestrogenic condition and create a protestosterone condition, especially for those of us over 50 and you don't have to get the shots. And it's, that in itself is a very important change, but that is the uniqueness that allows us to write the patent. And the patent's going to be the capsule delivery system with the pH-resistant capsule, the pH delivery system with the solution that promotes the proper pH, and the estrogenic defender of this other compound. Those three things together in themselves are unique enough, but as a triangle is going to give us the best possible nutrient delivery. And if you've ever gotten excited about the product's ability and what you've seen it do in your body, I think you're going to see 2- and 3-fold when this product gets into your system. This is really unique. It's exciting, and nobody has this technology.
Wait. So for people who have been taking Meridium, and we have faithful followers, we're going to, just so I'm dumbing it down in layman's term, presenting a Xanthohumol product that will deliver to the cells. Are you saying 3 to 4 times the effectiveness of what we're
I'm going to say 2 to 3 times.
Using?
I'm going to say 2 to 3 times. I want to give the benefit of the doubt to the former formulas that are out there.
And this is bio-available, meaning it gets right to the cell.
Correct. And the liposome is also going to help create nanospheres for the small molecules to deliver Xanthohumol to the brain. There's a lot. I could talk for an hour on each one of these things, so you could tell I'm a big mouth.
Wow.
I think, the biggest thing that I'm hearing, besides the obvious, that we are now about to deliver arguably maybe the most relevant product ever, considering all of the studies, all of the research, all of the values of this, the reason they call it the master molecule. To do what you're doing and explaining now, Kevin, the way I'm understanding this, just to clarify for myself and for everybody listening, the previous version, the Meridium version in water, now I'm kind of understanding if we're ingesting that, I'm guessing that besides the pH factor, that product, or very little of it, is getting to that place you're describing in the intestines, so that it can really get to work past the acidic environment going down our throat in the water, right? I mean,
correct. In the current Meridian, the best thing to do would not dilute it, put it in your mouth, hold it under your tongue, and let it sit there for 2 minutes. That's a higher alkaline environment, has a better potential. And if you really wanted to be a scientist, you'd chew up a Tums, increase the alkalinity of the mouth, and then put it in your mouth for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Can I just take a pill instead?
That's the goal.
Yeah,
that's what's going to be the new Xanthomax. And it's only one. You only have to take one.
One.
Yeah.
Just one capsule.
Maximum absorption. That's the key here. Is you're talking about almost. I wrote it down. You're talking about complete absorption. Those are the words you use. I'm saying maximum absorption. That's why, everybody, you can see on your screen, our new product is called Xanthomax, and it is going to be, as you just heard, I don't even have words for it yet of my excitement, but it is going to be patented, like Kevin said. We're working on this collectively and together. It's ours, and it's going to elevate on a whole nother level what we've been doing, especially when the things we've been talking about with these other products that we have that Kevin is created. When we start, when we continue talking about dose, for example, Kevin, I know we've been talking about that a lot. The combination of now Xanthomax and Elevate. I already know what people are going through, what they're experiencing, what I'm feeling. The releasing of these, 4 neuro happy chemicals is life changing itself. So, but here it is, everybody. Xanthomax coming out pretty quick here. I know we're not talking about any timelines, but it's imminent. We're replacing Meridium right now, mostly because we have gotten to our last batch and we're at the point of running out or run out. I don't know, Donna, where we're at, but
Well,
what
there's
else?
just no, honestly, there's no, when you have science, upgraded science, and, hats off to the prior formulator, but when you have current and updated science, you almost have an obligation to attach that science and technology, and that's what Kevin has done. I appreciate your brilliance. I love the liposome technology being used here. That is one of the hot trend words. And so when you have a better product, it just makes corporate responsibility to go ahead and replace Meridian, as you have now noticed on your website. We have taken it down in anticipation for this, and Kevin and his team in Florida they know this is of high priority, and we're looking at a ship date very, 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 very soon. So Kevin, thank you so much, because this is a product I know people are going to fall in love with, and thank you for just taking the time to make and elevate what we had. So
so the Trade Commission is telling me by a week from tomorrow we should have our patent pending number. And when we come out with the product, we're going to have all of our disclosure on the label, and we want to be protected. So when you sell the product, we don't want a bunch of people running down to the trademark office and knocking us off. I mean, the four products that we've talked about tonight, any one of these products is enough to build a direct sales company on. We talked about that eye cream company that the other guy did. They built a company on that, $1 billion empire. So any one of these, you can do that. So having all of the systems and then having access, and I'm kind of bragging, but to an endless facility, it's endless, the things that we can come out with. And we're just going to keep coming out with them because we have a partnership that listens to us and we listen to them. This relationship, Donna, that we have, and Robert and this team, we're one company. It's like you guys own the factory and I own your distribution relationships. And together, we're one entity, and it's limitless.
It is completely factual and true. We appreciate. I'm ecstatic about this relationship, partnership. We are operating as one. Thank you, Kevin Thomas, so much for everything, for trusting us in your what's the word I'm looking for? Your vision, your products that I know that there are a whole lot of much bigger, more, frankly, better funded companies that could spend a whole lot of money in these kind of life-changing products. But thank you for trusting us and believing in us and our mission and collective vision of where we're going together, like you said. So thank you so much.
You've got to figure it out. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Good night. Thanks again.
Good night.